What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be working on the new E30 build that I picked up. I actually had the build for a long time, but I'm finally starting to work on it. It's going to be a complete rebuild. If you guys haven't seen the first video on this car where I went ahead and introduced it and talked about exactly what I'm gonna do to the car, then make sure you guys go back and check it out. I believe it's gonna be like 2 videos ago, so go back and check that video out. But with that being said, today I'm finally gonna start like disassembling this entire car. Obviously not like a complete disassembly, but I want to get a lot of the parts off of the car and just store it somewhere, because that'll also give me motivation to just continue on the project and get it done. I know there's a lot of you that actually want to see progress on the Supra. We are getting progress done on the Supra. If you guys are waiting for some Supra videos, but those videos will come out later on, because if you guys don't know, the Supra was like hit from the front and we're getting that fixed right now. So an update on the Supra will probably be in a few videos, but for now we're gonna start on the new project and try to get going on this thing. For those who haven't seen the introduction video on this car, it's just a 1990 BMW 325 E30 chassis, and it definitely needs a lot of love. It clearly needs a paint job. Honestly, it needs everything done to the car, but that's what we're here for. We're gonna get this thing done. It actually is a running and driving car, but it needs a fuel pump because the fuel pump on it is really bad, and I'm not even gonna bother fixing the fuel pump or anything like that for this, because I really don't need it running right now for this engine or anything like that, because I'm gonna be swapping the engine. I'm gonna be taking out this old M20 and I'm gonna be swapping in an S50 from my purple Daytona E36, which is parked right there. Also, I'm going to be throwing in a 5-speed from that same car, because this car is an auto tragic, unfortunately. But a 5-speed swap on this car is pretty easy, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm still waiting for the wiring for my lift, and then I'll show you guys like the bottom of the car and everything like that. But it's a pretty clean example of a car. There's no rust on it whatsoever, so that's a good sign. They usually rust on the bottom of the battery tray right there, but rust wise everything is pretty good. The only bad part about the car is this quarter panel right here, which seems like someone tried to fix it with just a shit ton of Bondo, which is obviously the wrong thing to do. You're not supposed to do that. It's like a 1/4 inch of freaking Bondo right there. And there's also a pretty decent sized dent on this trunk, which needs fixing as well. But I'd rather fix stuff like that than rust any day. But we will get to bodywork and everything else in another video. What I really want to do today is get like this hood off of here and this whole front end disassembled. That way it's easier for me to pull this engine out of here. And if any of you want an M20, hit me up. I'll give you a good deal on it. But yeah, without further ado, let's get this front end all disassembled and ready to go. Alright, so the hood is off. Now I can finally move on to getting these front grills off, those headlights off, and I'm probably going to end up taking this bumper off and this bottom valence off as well. Alright, so as you guys just saw, I got the whole front end disassembled. I got the front valence, front bumper, the hood off, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but went ahead and got some Ziploc baggies, threw all the bolts in there and labeled them. It's probably one of the best things to do, to be honest, when you're disassembling anything or any car. Makes putting it back together 100 times easier. So yeah, all that is off, and you saw me take off the front grills, headlights, and everything like that as well. Looks like they actually upgraded the headlights from those old like halogen or whatever you want to call them to these ellipsoids, I believe they call them. I don't know, but basically they upgraded the headlights before, and they kind of did some like messed up old wiring. Check out this wiring job. This is like the old connector for the old headlights, and they converted it to the new connector for new headlights. But I'll obviously be fixing all that up later on in this build series. I'm probably going to end up getting new headlights either way, because I want the Euro smiley headlights. It's basically going to be the same headlight, but it has like a little smiley face right down here, which looks way better. And I'm going to have to upgrade these grills as well, because they're all just cracked up and messed up. Check this out. That's all broken right there. This is broken as well. And obviously all chipped up and shit. And this is all smashed up as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade those to the Euro grills as well, so we'll be good there. But yeah, what I want to do next is actually get these two front fenders off, because first of all, this fender is all just messed up and I really do not want to fix it. When the grills and headlights were on, there was like a huge gap right here, so it seems like they like hit it out from inside as well trying to fix it. But I'll go ahead and get a new fender. This side fender actually looks pretty damn good. Really no damage. There's like a small dent right there, but that's about it. And one thing I want to do mention is that these front core supports right here, this like front core support area right here, is not removable, so it's kind of annoying to get an engine in and out of here. And what a lot of people do on E30s is basically chop it right here, and one of the areas right down here as well, and make the core support removable, which I'm probably going to end up doing. I really want to end up doing that because it's just going to make this entire job a lot more easier. So that's basically what I want to work on this video. I want to go ahead and get the two front fenders off and work on getting like this front end right here disassembled, like get this radiator off and stuff like that, just to make removing this core support a little bit easier. And then in the next video, most likely I'll probably be pulling the engine out of this car, and I might end up pulling the engine out of the E36 M3, which is over there as well. But for right now, let me go ahead and get these two front fenders off. Alright guys, I finally got both of the front fenders off as well. These fenders have definitely been off the car once before, because usually there's like a silicone bead that runs right through here, which attaches the fender to the body of the car. I believe that's just for like water or something like that. Really don't know why BMW does that, but there wasn't any silicone on either side, and there's definitely like some overspray and stuff like that. So this car has definitely been painted before. I don't know if the whole car has been painted or like body parts here and there have been painted, but it's really not that important. All I care about is if the fender that I'm going to be keeping is OEM or not, which I believe it is OEM. So that's all good to go. Now, like I said before, I want to make this front core support all removable. And in order to do that, I got to first take apart everything that's attached to the core support in this area. I got to move this wiring out of the way as well. Take like this front radiator off, the auxiliary fan, and I believe that's an oil cooler down there. You guys are probably wondering what these like rusty areas are. I believe there might have been like either a fender bender here and they heated up these areas to try to pull it back, or a wire or something might have caught fire, because this is definitely heat that caused this. I just don't know if someone heated it up just to pull it out or if something just caught fire, but doesn't really matter. That's all gonna get fixed either way. But yeah, for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and start tearing apart all this stuff right here that's attached to the front core support. Alright, so I finally got everything all stripped down off of this radiator support. Now I have a lot more room to work with. I also went ahead and labeled the entire like wiring harness that goes in the front. All these wires are for like headlights and then like AC components in the front, fog lights. So I just went ahead and labeled everything just to make everything easier later on. I'm probably going to go ahead and clean up this entire wiring harness as well because I do not like the way this looks. It's just all coming apart. Looks grimy and dirty, so that's definitely going to get a good cleanup later on. I know I said before I want to get this radiator support all stripped down so I can make it removable, but I'm still deciding on that part. I don't know for sure if I want to do that or not. I know it'll make the job easier, like getting the engine in and out, but hopefully by that time the lift will be up and working, and I might just take the engine out from under the car, which that's exactly how it goes in and out in the first place. So I might just do that instead. So for now I'm going to leave the radiator support attached. That's where I'm going to end today's video. In the next video I'm going to go ahead and get this engine pulled out of the E30, and I'm also going to go ahead and get the S50 pulled out of the E36 M3 that I have. The transmission is already off of that car, so all I need to do is just pull the engine, which shouldn't take too long. But we'll get that done in the next video. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 20,000 subscribers. We're at like 19,000, I believe, right now. Let's get to that 20,000 mark. Let me know if you guys are enjoying this build series because there's still a lot to come. Thank you guys for watching. You want to end it, George, actually? You got to hit the fucking camera.
I'm gonna hit you first.